I was actually kind of curious when you made the statement of the boom is dead.
Yeah.
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 You really feel that the
I
boom
feel
is?
like the boom is, did I say dead? I think I said over.
That's probably.
Hopefully
You
I
can
said
say
over.
you can either do this part or not. It's up to you if you want to actually put this out there.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Talk about whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, when you said that, because we feel like I don't feel like the bourbon boom is dead. I feel like it finally grew up. You're getting past the kids, 21-year-olds
Yeah.
out there waiting in line at a liquor store all night long to get the bourbon.
Yep.
I feel like that part's going away, but I do feel like that people like you guys, other craft or even smaller craft distilleries, and even the big guys are all doing things and still pushing the boundaries and creating new products, which I don't think will ever get old.
Yeah, I don't think it's dead. I think that we had a significant abnormal event in
COVID.
COVID, and that without question, every time that there's going to be a significant normalization that happens after a significant abnormalization, and I think that's what we are experiencing.
Yeah.
As a part of that, everybody has their vices. Well, before COVID, going into COVID, legalizing marijuana was
That was it.
huge.
Yep.
It's still an important thing for a lot of states, far less important now than it was back then. Why? Either regulated or unregulated products. It's really acceptable now in society,
right,
to consume, cannabis however you want to consume it.
Yeah.
Before COVID, we weren't really at that point, right? And I think there was a phase over the last few years where, when it comes to the new trend of consuming, CBD through gummies or whatever, and that you can get a high from it. I think that there was this whole question mark around, well, how much is this going to take over society's vices? How much is this going to take over bourbon and American whiskey and all of that? And because trends have gone from 20 years to 10 years to 2 years on a lot of things, I'm not calling bourbon one of those. That's kind of died down a little bit, but now it's kind of like it's died down, but it's socially acceptable. So you have your group of society that, well, this is what we enjoy.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is trends are so short and everything is so much more acceptable in society today than it ever has been, that through normalization, I think it has settled into this new normal. And I do think it can continue to grow. The one thing that bourbon and American whiskey, and even single malts are starting to become a thing, will always have is its importance to American culture. And it takes so long to develop a brand that there is still brand loyalty in bourbon and American whiskey, whereas there's very little brand loyalty in a lot of other, I think there's a lot less brand loyalty in cannabis, right? There's a lot less brand loyalty. I don't know how much brand loyalty there is in vodka. I think there's a decent amount, but not like American whiskey.
But I do think you're starting to see an understanding from, companies that are producing these vices, whatever, I would call it entertainment, even.
Yeah.
And realizing that the market now is big enough. There's enough.
Thank you.
There's enough economic freedom,
Yeah.
within our society,
Yeah.
that people can choose to invest a lot of money into things that they like. If you're a concert goer, right, you spend a lot of money. If you're a sports person, I mean, you look at what the cost of an NFL team's, season tickets are. You look at bourbon or cannabis or sports gambling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge
same thing,
one, right?
Yeah,
I
same
think
thing.
that one is one that came about
Yeah.
really significant
Right.
here recently. So,
Right.
I do find that the marketing is starting to get a lot more intelligent and a lot more thoughtful and a lot more focused, and going, okay, it used to be if you were in the 80s and you were making music, you had a very limited opportunity to hit the radio waves, become massive, and go, on tour and play to 50,000 people.
Yep.
Now we've got venues all over the place that are 5,000 to 7,000 people. And so you can go and make music and you can sell to a limited set of people and market very well and stay focused and get it done. I really like what you guys have done here by focusing on the Tennessee high malt and saying that is core to who you are. And it's going to continue to maintain a certain base while also, enticing others that may be the traditional, what is it, the 1816, right?
Yep.
And saying, okay, maybe I need to try some of this Tennessee high malt and figure out what that's all about. I think you're bringing up really, really great points.
Yeah.
I also feel like distilleries and wineries and breweries have all done a good job of when craft beer started, and it was after obviously wineries have been around forever and all that. They've all kind of found ways of making it family friendly, where it's this is not something where people don't come. I'm sure they do occasionally, but people aren't coming here just to get hammered drunk because they had a bad day. Yeah. They're coming here for an experience. And by making it a little bit more family friendly, or just making it in that more, like you said, socially acceptable, then it becomes something you do as a hobby or something you enjoy, and not just I'm going out to get
No, I think the normalization of it is really important. I grew up in a household that had zero alcohol in it. My parents were not actually teetotalers. They loved it all before they had my brother and I. And then they chose that when they had my brother and I, we're not going to have.
We kind of did the same thing.
We're not going to have alcohol. Yeah. And then, kind of as the story goes, a lot of Gen X rebelled against that and rebelled against it not in a normal way, rebelled against it in an abnormal way. And so then millennials and Gen Z saw Gen X rebelling against it in an abnormal way and said, I want nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. And now you've got Gen Y. What?
I don't know what they're calling.
I don't know what generation.
My kids. Whatever my kids' generation are. My kids are 13 and 11.
Okay.
I have hundreds of bottles of whiskey throughout, and when you walk into the house, the first thing you see is a cabinet with, 200 bottles of Chattanooga whiskey in it.
Yeah.
And then that kind of flows to the next cabinet, and then that kind of flows down to the kitchen counter. And they attend Chattanooga Christian School. They have, their friends come over and spend the night, every weekend. Their parents walk in the door. They see the cabinet of whiskey on there, and they're not like, I didn't know you had that. Instead, they're literally like, so which one is your favorite? Which one,
Which one is your favorite?
It's like picking a favorite child.
Exactly.
So if you ask me to do it, I can pick a favorite child on a given day, but it's not always going to be the same child. So,
I think I get that same. I literally get that same answer every single time you ask any distiller or owner what their favorite product is. Everyone's response is it's like picking a favorite child.
Yeah. But do they say that they can pick a favorite child?
Yes, they do. Sorry.
We're really hoping I was original there.
No, we're making a super cut.
So what was your last favorite child? Like,
peach infused gin.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Huh.
Incredible. I mean, I'm so sad that I crushed those bottles. It's a high malt bourbon recipe, so it's all, all ingredients, real ingredients, all, hand picked, hand peeled. But it's just our infusions. So we've done, I'll throw a number, I might be wrong on this, but I want to say we've done 6 infusions, maybe 7, somewhere maybe between 6 and 8 infusions. All of them have been outstanding. We are the best. I think we're the best bourbon makers, but I also think we're the best infusion. And it's all high malt bourbon base. And it's all hand picked, hand peeled fruit that goes into it, or whatever we're using.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been, it's been absolutely incredible. We have a huge demand for our infusions. They're experimentals.
Yeah.
Typically 2 to 3 barrels max. And when we release an infusion, we have a line down the street, and they're gone.
It's gone.
And they're gone really, really quickly because they're that.
It's like that meme, and it's gone.
I ask all the time, can we please scale this? And the answer is it's complicated. So
That's not a no.
It is complicated because we put so much into those products. So
If you ever have any of those new ones you want to have us do a review on the podcast, you send us a bottle up.
All right.
We'd love to do it.
All right, cool.
We love talking about people we enjoy.
I assume you guys are on our press list. Make sure you are on our press list, because when you do, you can send it. You can follow up. You'll get our press emails, and then you can follow up to our
really comes
to
through.
that with a request for
Okay.
for sample.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
You want
I'm
which
blown
one do you
away
want
by
first?
this whiskey.
Whatever's close.
which one are you on?
This
my
is the
gosh.
91.
Yeah. Oh, the Solera Barrel 91. It's insane.
Yeah, it's great.
I know.
mean,
And I know you. Before one of you asks, why don't we
just
bottle
sell it? Yeah.
the Solera Barrel? Because it is barrel strength in the Solera Barrel. It is unfiltered, so there's char sediment in there. We have 111. 111 is unfiltered. 111 is single fermentation. And respecting Grant's opinion on this, he feels like Solera Barrel doesn't offer that. There needs to be a more substantial difference between what you get out of Solera Barrel strength and what you get from 111. Even though 111 does not go through the Solera Barrel, so I could argue that's your difference. But
It's the same recipe, right? So
same recipe. Yeah.
This is delicious.
Is it the Solera? Is it really the Solera?
Well,
barrel?
91 is exclusively Solera finished,
Right.
and 111 is exclusively single batch unfiltered.
But the Solera 91 tastes very different from the 111.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out, is
Yeah,
it just
you're
the
piquing
Solera?
my interest. Can I have some of that? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
infinite.
Oh,
That's Infinity?
You want,
Okay, you guys keep pouring. No, it's fine.
Here's a
I think
Solera.
they were-
Go ahead.
yeah,
They've already
got
poured.
it.
Yeah.
It is just the layers of complexity here. I mean, when it first hit my palate, and I'm like, oh, this is like an excellent, like fruity Pinot Noir kind of forward. Oh,
By the way,
no,
you'll get to
wait.
try that at experiment.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that one. But then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's lots of like different, different fruit notes. Oh wait, it's got a little bit of almost kind of minty finish. Oh wait, it just keeps going and going and going. And I can just sit here and throw 100 descriptors at it.
So later on, when I'm asking you guys to troll the local liquor stores for the single barrels, this is why.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
So
And
when I
don't
started
mind-
talking to John, I'm like, okay, who's got single barrel picks around here, and where are they, and where can I find them?
Yeah. Well, this is the other reason. Economically for us, if we do bottle and sell a barrel strength single barrel or Solera barrel, you're pulling directly from our source that creates 91,
Right.
which is, 65% of our revenue. So we,
Yeah.
we wanna-
Well, I think, an opportunity to come here, visit the distillery, talk with you and your staff members and have a sip of this, right? And the fact that you do open up opportunities for people that, are big fans of Chattanooga whiskey and say, I'm going to come down for the event, right? That's great that they still have an opportunity to taste this.
Yeah.
I have no problem with distillers ever holding back a little bit for situations where they're engaging with people that are interested in their business.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Oh, of course.
This
Oh
is
man, it's my pleasure.
absolutely outstanding.
This is when we do open this place up eventually for tours. I mean, that's what we want to feature, right? So that's going to be the opportunity to get it, and maybe I'll get my way, and we'll get a Solera barrel finish exclusive. If you tour Riverfront, you can buy a bottle of the Solera barrel finish.
Oh, now that
There
would be
you go.
cool. That would be
So-
great. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What I heard is that you basically have brought back the barrel pick program.
Yeah.
But the number's probably very limited, right? So
I think we did less than 30
yeah.
total.
So how many of those are they allotted per state or? And
There are a lot. So we have 6 sales or six market managers that directly work for Chattanooga Whiskey and they have their top customers that they have to get these to.
okay.
And then we can kind of go from there. We're trying to grow it for 2025. One of the ways we are growing it is through, for the first time ever, offering rye single barrels.
Oh,
So we've
okay.
never offered a rye single barrel before. And so that we're trying to get like an additional 20 to 30 rye single barrels. So hopefully we can grow this program north of 50 barrels.
So
which,
it sounds to me like, those distributors have customers that they need to take care of, meaning stores.
yes.
So you're not.
Yes, it's a volume play. It's like
So it's not going to be like club picks. That's not going to be. a
no.
thing.
Well, so I want club picks because of obviously the influence, and you're getting directly to customers, and we're having conversations and all that.
Right.
But there are demands from our highest volume retailers
Yeah.
that we need to satisfy first.
Yeah.
But then club comes second, and so I am hoping that we're going to unlock a number of club picks for 2025. That's my hope.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How do I get on the
I was
list?
gonna say I do know of a
For our
really
channel.
influential cigar shop in
All right. Yeah.
northeast side of Indianapolis.
All right, sweet, love it. I look forward to actually.
podcast pick.
I loved Indy last time I was up there. That's awesome. Like,
Well, we're from downtown Indy. We're maybe half an hour.
okay, cool.
We're on the northeast side, up close to Fishers, but 10 minutes from Fishers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely different.
We stayed at an
Nice.
Airbnb, really cool Airbnb, in that whatever that district is where
Scott Stringer.
No,
is
Nickel
Fisher
enjoying
District.
this one.
there was a little distillery there, I think. Am I thinking of the right district?
I don't know the
If
distillery.
it was
There's a
near there,
brewery.
it's probably
There's a
Nickel
brewery
Plate.
there.
Yeah, it was.
Sun King Brewery is right there in Fishers.
Yeah, there's a little coffee shop. It's gosh, where I can't remember the name of that district.
What are we trying to think of?
It's not Fishers.
We had an Airbnb.
Oh.
It was up in Parks Place.
Where was I? What is where's Whiskey Tango? Is that in
Downtown.
That's
That's
downtown.
Hotel Tango.
Hotel Tango?
Hotel Tango.
Or
yeah.
downtown.
I was in that district.
Okay.
That was where Hotel Tango
Fountain
was.
Square.
Fountain Square.
Square.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fountain Square's a cool little place. Yeah.
Oh,
About the best concert venue in Indianapolis is down there called the Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. And I actually sat right next to the owner. We talked for a while. It's a cool guy.
oh.
Yeah, this is
that takes a 90-degree turn.
What did you
The
have?
Infinity now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You can tell it's high and malt.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Oh
all
man,
whiskey.
that is really good.
much more tannic.
Well, and a
Yeah,
lot
very
more,
It's
oak.
malty.
and a lot more of the dark malt, the dark malty notes.
Yep.
And I like that.
You have the Infinity
Yeah. Poured a bit much.
Panic.
Oh, right.
That's right. I gave it a college try.
Say I got a dump.
Why does everybody keep pouring it into my glass?
Because I already had a bunch. I think.
Scott, that's
Right. That's my podcast
That's
tagline.
That's payback.
I don't think you understand just how much I drink.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
It's
Um,
We went to a
It's hard to hang
distillery
out,
that's just right down the road from the shop called Moondrops,
Okay.
and great place.
Yeah.
They're sourced MGP right now, but he's got pushing 1,500 barrels or so, 2,000 barrel max in his warehouse, his rick house, and he pulls out one of his bottles, and we're starting the show, and he pours me like a taster. I was like,
Yeah.
you could pour just a little bit
it's not
more
gonna work.
whiskey
Yeah.
in here. That's not going to last me 2
Nah.
hours, buddy.
That's funny.
to sit here and do a full show.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to finish that thought, I think the fact that my kids, their kids, their parents are like growing up now in what I would say is like a more normalized, acceptable hobby within that, opposed to kind of the backlash, I guess, that happened from being, from kids growing up with no alcohol and getting hammered.
Yeah.
I think that is going to produce a far more normal drink, like, acceptable bourbon society long term.
Yeah.
But I think what we're in the middle of right now is overcoming inflation, and this normalization from this abnormal event, and the 20 to 26, 27, 28-year-olds, those early 20s, mid 20s, they're the ones that were like, I don't drink because of that, So I think we got to get past that. So I feel like you're gonna slowly but surely see it just continue to evolve and be a good thing for a long time, because of once we get through some of those negative trends.
Yeah.
So outside of the obvious issue of danger and explosions, Texas recently had a court case that is legalizing home distilling.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I mean, the danger of explosion is real.
Yes.
So I would say it's probably not a good idea to do that. I mean, what we had to go through with our own fire marshals and all that here, I mean, just to keep ourselves and the community and our employees safe was substantial. I would imagine that part of that is they can't commercialize the products that they are
correct. It is
selling at home. So
it is
this
home
for,
use
like,
only.
personal consumption.
Personal friends, that sort of
I
stuff.
don't
Being
know.
able to do it, and like I'm thinking 5-gallon systems that make 1 gallon of distilled product.
Pass me a little bottle.
I happen to know that there's
I mean,
a market
you know,
product
I'm
out there for distilling water
Yeah.
that gives you a 5-gallon batch into a 1 gallon of, and it's a column, basically the equivalent of a column still.
I don't know. I don't think I have an official answer on that, because, I'm not all about regulation. That's not it. So I am an entrepreneur, kind of. I'm a half-baked entrepreneur, and half-baked capitalist. But like, but safety matters too, and so I would, it's just not something it's not like home brewing. So I don't know.
I kind of look at it.
Maybe let people do it and learn their own lessons.
I think that's kind of what
I mean, I'm
happened.
down with that.
The other
I'm
one.
cool. I'm cool with that.
We're gonna get TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Think deep frying turkeys.
Yeah. Right.
On Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm thinking if you're doing
Yes.
that, that's about the same
Yeah.
danger level
Yeah.
as
That's a good point.
as distilling.
That's a good
So,
point. See a lot of
house fires.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of catastrophes.
Yeah. They
I wanted to see what those do blended.
you blended the two of them. I like it. Yes.
Rob's over here gypsying it.
So is Founders like a team effort, or is this your blending?
Oh, it's absolutely a team effort. I mean, it is my blending, but I'm blending 3 Solera barrels that have been carefully monitored and blended.
Yeah.
For me to be able to have that product.
Sure.
So.
But when it comes to the final say of the split between these three,
that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My over the past couple of years, I think number one flavor note that I get out of Infinity has been Tootsie Roll.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
The 10th anniversary for me was like root beer float. I just remember that. I remember that note distinctly.
I get what so I haven't experienced that before.
The oak and the orange.
Correct. This is because we topped that up. Remember, this is what we're drinking is
Yeah.
indicative of what will go into the 13th
Right.
because we drew down for the 12th and then we topped back up substantially with other products for the 13th. You know what's in there? You know what you're getting?
What is it?
There's Scottish style in here.
Oh, that would do
what,
it.
That's what you're getting. That just hit me. I haven't had that. I haven't gotten it out of there.
It's great.
That's
I
what you're
love it.
getting. So
Yeah.
it's possible there's also a heavier dose of cherry wood smoked malt in there. So we've done a number. We've done beechwood smoked malt, cherry wood smoked malt, mesquite wood smoked malt. We've done a bunch.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. I can't tell you what smoked malts are hitting me right now, but that is the smokiest Infinity I have ever had.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. That's what that wood that you're getting or that oak that you're getting, I think is really like I think it's the smoke that is translating like oak.
not actual.
Yeah, 'cause I
oak.
wasn't getting the tannins
where is
as
that-
much because tannins make me dry out. And I wasn't getting the drying out. I was just getting that flavor.
Whoa.
So it has
So
to
when
be
you
that.
say
I haven't had that.
Actually, I really want to. I just came from Kansas City last week, and I want to go back and take this with me and have some of that Kansas City barbecue that's got some of that molasses backstrap.
this is gonna make
That's gonna be a good bottle.
well, it's gonna make Founders.
Yeah.
This gonna make 13th Founders very interesting.
What were you gonna?
when you say
Doc?
Scottish style, is it from a particular experimental batch, or where is that coming from?
So kind of. I mean, Scottish style is really driven by peated malts that we use. But batch 004, we called Scottish style. That was our introduction to a peated bourbon that utilized, I think it was Simpson's peat malt.
Mm-hmm.
And then we launched a Scotch cask barrel finishings in,
Yep.
you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember.
Because we scaled up that recipe, that batch 004 recipe, because there's a green label,
Yeah.
or had green accent.
Are you saying that's in here? Because I don't.
It has to, there's something,
I don't
there's
taste because I'm peat sensitive.
it might not be peat, it might be some other form of
some other form of smoke.
smoke that's in here.
Yeah.
This
Wood
is, but this is
smoke
by
instead.
far the smokiest Infinity I've ever
What
had.
I never got on your I don't know, what do you call, did you call it peated or Scotch style? What was that?
We've called it was Scotch cask was a barrel finishing.
It was a finish.
It was a finishing that we did.
Okay. Because
We have done also triple peat, which was an experimental that we
Right.
did.
okay, that's what
We
I
had the
had a
triple-
bottle
yeah,
of that
yeah.
yes, too. Okay.
I actually preferred that one to the.
That was the
regular
highest.
Scotch.
So that was way higher proof. Did you know that? So the Scotch cask is 95 proof. The triple peat was 111.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but I'm coming from a Scotch. Like I never really liked Isla Scotches. I was a Highland guy, a Speyside guy.
Me too.
But
Well,
like,
that's not true.
I
I really like Lagavulin. I really like. I mean, I'll drink Lefroy, even though
love
like
Lefroy.
if I have 3 glasses of Lefroy, it's not good. But I love Speyside, Highland. I love Irish. Like I love the red breasts. I love the yellow spot. Like I love all that stuff too, which is not smoky,
yeah.
but I love it all.
But
Hey,
I really
so-
like.
Huh? Oh, so-
It's like, guys, I gotta eat.
I need some food. We're just sitting here drinking.
snack time. Thanks. All good.
But I like the triple peat more because it also had a sweetness that kind of helped offset that peat for me because I'm not a huge peat guy.
Well,
that's
but
where I
it
was
was
going with
sweeter.
that too. Was out
was
because I
sweeter.
didn't feel like it was peated like a Lefroy peated Scotch or an Ardbeg or something like that.
It had a
I felt like it
sweetness
was
that-
more of a smokiness as opposed to that medicinal peat. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because it's
was
more
thinking
about
that
the.
way,
It's more about the. I mean, we do have peated malts in there,
Yeah.
but it's more about the. And it's not influenced. It's influenced a lot by the barrels. In some of the peated malt that's in there, it's not like a super heavy peated Scotch that's like all peated malt. You
So,
know,
that's actually would be kind of a unique question to figure out. Because a lot of scotches they use ex-bourbon barrels, already had stuff in it, whatever, right? But you have to use a new charred oak barrel. I wonder what that does by using new, freshly poured into versus something that's already seasoned. Wonder what that does to the actual liquid.
No, I think it makes it's a lot more like it gives you those traditional bourbon
Right.
elements, notes, that sweetness,
Which they want to eliminate. They want the single malt to shine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think it rounds it out a little bit. Our next, we are going to do another Scotch cask, and it is going to be, I think, 111 proof. That is going into the market. So like Indiana should see some.
Okay.
10 minutes.
So
Well, good.
The smokiness is so I did a little blending.
yeah.
Here's your 10-minute warning.
Got it. But the smoke is so prevalent that it almost gets a little bit of smoked bacon fat,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah, no,
that is like one of my absolute favorite notes to get out of.
We actually, in our culling of barrels, which we do when we're filling the Solera barrels, we go through a barrel selection process, or distillers go through a barrel selection process, and they will cull barrels for single barrels because based on unique flavor profiles that they get out of these barrels, and we call a lot of them bacon barrels. So like we'll get a bacon note, a random bacon note. We'll pull and be like single barrel.
Yeah.
Cream of Kentucky gave me that. The first time I had Cream of Kentucky, I had a bacon note that came out of one of those, and it was wild.
It's great.
Such
you almost
a cool
get
note.
like this kind of underlying salty note.
Yeah.
I think it's not actually there. I think it's almost like your brain is creating it because it knows what to expect.
Doesn't your brain create it all anyway?
It does. Yeah. That's a good point. It really does. Well, we did a tasting experience with Jackie Zycan. I don't know if she was a blender at Old Forester, Brown Foreman. And now she's where's she consulting at?
Hidden Barn.
Hidden Barn. But she
Neely
just talked
family.
about how to taste, and she said, like Rob kept getting in trouble. She'd drop a bunch of F-bombs on him because she said, "Don't say what you think."
I only did it once, maybe
like
twice.
But you're not, Rob would be like, vanilla. She says, shut up. You're supposed to think about like an experience that you had in your life. And that, what is it that the taste reminds you of? Because that helps you to identify what it is.
So what is it?
Better.
What is it here?
Look, the citrus note on it, without a question.
On 91 or on Infinity? Or the blend?
It was on the Infinity.
Okay, yeah.
It was definitely out of the Infinity.
Okay.
I remember a church I grew up in. We'd do a fundraiser where we would sell the boxes of sun-kissed oranges, and we'd have to go and like unload them off the semi and then get them, to everybody that sold them to, take your 10 boxes and go deliver them. I mean, this is, back in the day. I don't know if they even do this anymore.
Not send a photo.
But it was a thing in the late 80s and early 90s to get a box of sun-kissed oranges.
Yeah.
Right. And I always remember getting into that first orange. You get home, you've been around it all, or you're a kid and you're working a little bit, but they know you can't work the whole time. So they hand you, oranges, and you just go outside and just ripping and smelling.
Are you from Indiana?
Hell yeah.
Okay. It's supposed to be an Indiana thing. I don't remember doing this.
This is, because we didn't, it's Indiana.
Yeah,
and trucks from Florida.
Yeah, they would literally just pack a full, and so it was like $50.
Okay.
And you would buy like straight from the farm, and it was from Sunkist. It was always the Sunkist brand, and you'd show up and you'd get this 50-pound box of oranges. And so it just makes me like, that was what I thought of when I tasted it. Cool. Yeah.
The reason we have our corn farm relationship with Katisa is because of X. Did you guys know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've got a good customer, Rob's, that it works at Beck's.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yep.
just went over their Beck's Technology Days.
Cool.
Shout out
last
to
week.
JC.
So, yeah.
Since
Technology.
we're still on
Technology.
camera.
That's
And we won't.
Oh, absolutely, man. It was. I really enjoyed hanging out.